I'm going to read a book for you today about a very brave, very smart woman who used her mind and her intelligence to save astronauts who are stuck in outer space. Do you guys want to read about her? Her name's Katherine. Ready? Let's count to 3 and I'll get the book. 1, 2, 3. Here it is. Counting on Katherine. There's Katherine Johnson. Looks like the moon behind her. Let's find out about how she saved those astronauts, what her story is. Katherine loved to count. She counted the steps to the road, the steps up to church, the number of dishes and spoons she washed in the bright white sink. The only thing she didn't count were the stars in the sky. Only a fool, she thought, could try that. Even so, the stars sparked her imagination. What was out there? Look, there's her house. There's the big sky. Let's see where she is in the window. Katherine's boundless curiosity turned her into a star student. She was so bright, she skipped 3 whole grades. What? She catapulted right past her brother. He wasn't too happy about that. Look, there's the family. And she was smarter than her brother. There she is, look, at school, writing a whole bunch of numbers on the board. By the time she turned 10, Katherine was ready for high school. Whoa, but back then America was legally segregated by race. Her town's high school didn't admit black students of any age. Ooh, that's very wrong. Katherine burned with fury. She wanted more than anything to keep learning. There was still so much to know. Count on me, Katherine's father told her. There he is. And down here, look, it says White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. That's where she lived. By working day and night, he earned enough money to move the family to a town with a black high school. Institute, West Virginia. There they go, they're moving. Katherine loved high school. She was good at every subject, but math was still her favorite. She still loved numbers. She dreamed of becoming a research mathematician, making discoveries about the number patterns that are the foundation of the universe. In those days, though, there were no jobs as research mathematicians for women. Professions most available to them were teaching and nursing. So Katherine became an elementary school teacher. She liked her job and she loved her students, but she never stopped dreaming about exploring numbers. There she is teaching kids. In the 1950s, the US government's National Advisory Committee on Aeronautics, or NACA and ACA, hired thousands of new employees, even started hiring black women as mathematicians. There's the newspaper, and there's the big building. Katherine heard about the mathematician job. Her heart raced with excitement. Perhaps her dreams could come true after all. But when she applied for one of the positions, she was told they were already filled. Katherine had to wait a whole year until new spots opened up. Her patience paid off because she got the job. That's great. A few years later, the Soviet Union sent a rocket into space, launching a space race with the United States. NACA was rolled into a new space agency, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. Katherine now found herself at the heart of America's space program. She worked as a computer. Electronic computers were not widely used yet, so you didn't have iPhones or regular computers or anything like that. So Her brain was very, very useful right then. All the computers were women. They were given the tasks that men thought were boring and unimportant. Wait a second, is that fair? Men think they were boring, the jobs, and so they give them to the women? I don't think that was fair. That didn't bother Katherine though. She knew that without her contributions, a spaceship couldn't reach its destination nor safely return to the Earth. Look, there's all the women she's working with. And there's Katherine. So she feels good about her job. Here's why. Sending a rocket ship into space is like throwing a ball into the air. At first, the force of the throw sends the ball up, up, up. But as its energy runs out, the ball's path curves back towards the ground. Where it lands depends on what the angle it was thrown, and how high and how fast it flew. Because math is kind of a language, Katherine could ask those questions. How high would the rocket ship go? And how fast would it travel? And numbers would provide all the important answers. Where would it land? There she is, throwing a ball, and that's the rocket ship. See? Huh, it's pretty smart. To find out, Katherine plotted the numbers she calculated on a graph. When she joined the points together, they formed a curved line. Look, there she is drawing the curved line. At one end of that line was Earth at the time the rocket ship launched, and the other was where the Earth would be when the ship landed. Katherine's reputation for accuracy and strong leadership skills, she was known for asking lots of questions, got her promoted to Project Mercury, a new program designed to send the first American astronauts to outer space. There she is. Mercury's mission were going to be dangerous, so dangerous that even the Project star astronaut John Glenn refused to fly unless Katherine okayed the numbers. "You can count on me," she said. Glenn's spacecraft, Friendship 7, orbited the Earth 3 times and returned safely home. Glenn became a national hero. There he is. He went into outer space in that little, tiny little room. Katherine was promoted again. Now she was asked to calculate the flight paths for Project Apollo, the first flights to the moon. "Count on me," she said. There she is. She knows she can help. On July 20th, 1969, the Apollo 11 astronauts walked on the moon. Their feat was celebrated around the world. There they are. They put the American flag on the moon. More triumphs followed. Apollo 12 rocketed to the moon in November 1969. Apollo 13 launched on April 11th, 1970. But on the third day of Apollo 13's flight, the worst thing happened. An explosion in space. Could the crippled spaceship make it to the moon? And if it didn't, would it be able to get back home to Earth? The 3 astronauts on board were in grave peril. Commander Jim Lovell told Mission Control, "Houston, we have a problem." There they are. Back on Earth, Katherine Johnson got a phone call. Her flight path calculations would have to be done all over again and perfectly. It would be the toughest challenge of her life. Katherine told Mission Control, "You can count on me." She rolled up her sleeves, took a deep breath, and began doing the math. She worked hard and fast. A few hours later, Katherine's calculations were finished. The flight path to return home would take the ship around the far side of the moon. From there, the moon's gravity would act like a slingshot to zing the ship back to Earth. To get home, the crew of Apollo 13 would have to follow Katherine's course exactly by burning off fuel at precise intervals. If the astronauts made a mistake, their ship would drift through space forever. Look, there she is doing her math, and there is her idea that she came up with. Katherine waited anxiously to hear the astronauts' report. Finally, it crackled over the loudspeaker. "We've got it!" Apollo 13 was back on track. Katherine Johnson had done it. She brought Apollo 13 home. She was no longer the kid who dreamed of what lay beyond the stars. She was now a star herself. Look, there's the moon, and there she is. And that is the end of our story. There's lots more about Katherine, lots more things that you could learn about her life, and about her friends, who are also really good mathematicians too. I hope that you guys like this story. I hope that you read lots more stories with me. Remember, girls are pretty awesome, right? We use our brains, we think a lot. Boys are great too, but sometimes the girls' stories are buried in history, so it's very important to pay attention to all of our friends who are doing great things in the world and to tell their stories so that everybody knows about them. I will see you later, alligators. Bye.